Okay.
Okay. So
We
maybe
have
we can.
2 o'clock.
We have 2 o'clock. So
At least in Poland.
yes. Okay. So welcome you all on the webinar about Grenton Complete Smart Home System. Probably 1 year ago, we would meet in other circumstances, probably in some trade fair in some part of the world, or in the training organized here in Poland, or maybe in your country. But 2020 has changed a little bit everything, and we all had to adapt. And our meetings now looks like this. It surely has also a lot of benefits because now we communicate faster and we are more flexible in our meetings. This is the 4th webinar that we are organizing this year, sorry. And my name is Marta Lipiec-Panazzolo and I'm Key Account Manager in Grenton. I have joined the company this year in July. Before I've worked more than 10 years in HVAC sector, but this year I have entered the world of smart home. And I will conduct today's webinar together with Peter. Hello, Peter.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Piotr Kaczmarczyk. I work for Grenton as Business Development Manager. It's almost 2 years right now. However, my background is in smart home quite longer. I joined that area of business in 2004, so that's gonna be over 15 years right now. And I hope we will be able to show you on this webinar a little bit about everything in aspect of smart home. Let me show you the agenda of that training, that webinar. And I hope you will find all something for you there, because there will be some things about Grenton that will Marta explain to you. Then I will talk a little bit about smart home in general. What is this? It is all about 10-minute sections. Then Marta will tell you about the Grenton system. What's the most important things in Grenton as a smart home system. Then I will explain and show you some knowledge about the wiring for smart home. And after that, shortly, Marta show you all our panels, because this is something very important, what end users see. So Marta will show this. And after that, I will be showing configuration. So this will be a part for more engineers, more installers, maybe, because you will find as well information there about the functionality of the system. However, this will be something where you will see as well how easy it is to program our system. And after all of that, Marta show you some example of smart homes made on Grenton, and that all should take around 90 minutes. I hope you will enjoy that, and one more important thing. Any questions, you should find on the bottom of the screen the chat icon. Please send any questions, anything you would like to ask. I don't think we will be able to answer this during the training. However, this will be stored and we will send you the answers after webinar. And if you are interested in any particular partnership with us, you can just drop an email to webinar@grenton.com. So first part will be done to Marta, and she will tell you about the Grenton company.
Yes, so as Piotr said, before we will explain you and tell you more about our solution, we would like to introduce our company and tell something more about us. We were established in 2011. The company is based in Krakow in south of Poland. And we are the first smart home player in Poland right now. From the beginning, how did we achieve it? Because from the beginning, for us, it was very important not only to provide the excellent product, but also to spread the knowledge about smart home systems. That's why we were concentrated a lot on trainings, and we have trained so far more than 2,200 installers, and almost 600 of them are now our authorized dealers. If we will look globally, right now we work with more than 20 international distributors. If you see this map, it shows only one part of Europe, but we work really globally. We have very strong coverage in Middle East. We work also with partners in Africa, but we are also constantly in active search for new partners, because we believe that there are a lot of opportunities in different countries for us and for our new partners to build together the smart home market and the smart home sector. This year, Grenton has been awarded by Deloitte as one of the 50 fastest growing technology companies in the Central Europe. We are very pleased because we were placed on the 28th position in this report. And we are very proud of it because it shows that the work that we are doing together with our partners gives result and is noticed. Here you can see how the number of Grenton installed systems was growing every year from 2016. As you can see from that year or from 2017, every year the growth was faster, and it was more than 100%. So it shows us how the smart home market is growing and how much work we have to do. We have also to do together also in the future. How do we work? In export, but not only. As I have told, we are concentrated a lot on the product because we are working constantly on the development of the great products. But also what is important is also the know-how and the trainings for us. That's why we constantly organize the in-house trainings. That this year maybe it was more difficult for the customers, especially from abroad, to come here in Poland to join us during the trainings. But we hope next year will be better, and
We're missing you.
Exactly. But we hope we will come back to the normality soon. But this year also opened a lot of challenges. And it inspired us to create those online training sites. One of them you can see on the photograph. So this kind of site gives us the possibility to connect with our customers and conduct the practical trainings. Our trainer can interact with the trainees all over the world, and they can interact together, making some programming and configuration of our system. So you can learn also from your country how to build the Grenton Smart Home. But what exactly the smart home is, now we will see together with Piotr.
Yes, I hope I'm going to explain this in a simple way so you can understand all that the smart home is not that complicated, at least in some basic requirements. So I will tell you about basic requirements. However, I'm not going to cover topic of the wireless devices because this is completely different area. Of course, that is a part of smart home, and we have got as well wireless devices. But let's talk now about smart home in professional way, where we need to design the house. And this is one part, very important part, where we design the wiring for the house. And we can also present some pre-wiring for future-proof. This is a part of every smart home because this wiring is slightly different. I'm going to explain this a little bit more in further part of this webinar. So that's an essential part of smart home. Next part is a hardware. So after the wiring is done, there is a hardware installation phase where we need to install not only the modules which are controlling whole house or taking any data, but also it needs to be installed the all controllers so the end user can control this smart home. So after the phase of the wiring, there is always hardware installation. And this is still not a smart home, it's just full of the equipment. But what the smart home makes really smart is a programming part. This is the most important part because depending of the skills of installers, the skills of designers of this system, the installation is user-friendly for for the customer or not. And this is a third part from the smart home. First is wiring, second is hardware, then there is configuration. Sounds simple. However, if there is a complex project, it just takes time to complete. Just a little bit about benefit of smart home. If we have got single keypad, single button, just one button, in traditional electricity, this button can just switch on and off fixed equipment. So if this is designed for the lamp, it's gonna change the lamp state to on and off forever because unless you rewire this, it's gonna stay with this function. In smart home, the same button, you can achieve more functionality because it could be not only one click, it could be a double click, it could be on hold, it could be long press, different functionality from one button. And even more, you can every time, if you change your mind what does control this button, you can change it. So if this is the same light lamp where we design on the traditional electricity, after a few years, we can change this, for example, for blinds control. No problem of that. That's just a single button. However, in smart home, we can implement panels which are much more powerful, and they give you not only multiple buttons, but also some feedback, some information about smart house. So depending on the controller's hardware, you can achieve more from the same point in your house where end user just try to press on some features. So this is roughly about smart home, what it requires, what are the benefits of the whole smart home, which is completely programmed and configured. Definitely this home is more comfortable. It is also more flexible. You can always change functionality of this house. It is more economic because some parts of this house can change the modes, for example, to eco mode. If you run for holiday or you just go for over the weekend, you can switch the eco mode, and that will do as multiple functions to make it more economic. And also this home is more safe because you can create some scenes that when you leave your house, it switches off the sockets, etc. It all depends about a software, hardware, and installer. And that's all about smart home in general. The smart home should make our life easier. That's the most important, and we should keep it in our mind to not overcomplicate the system, but just make our life easier. And about the Grenton system, how does the Grenton smart home? Maybe Marta will explain, and please continue.
Of course. Here on this slide, you can see the basic elements of Grenton system. So we have the software that is called Object Manager. And thanks to this software inside it, you program and you make all the configurations that are put in the CLU. That is our central logic unit. Let's call it the brain of the system. This CLU module later communicates and receives information from modules, so the hardware, and from the controllers. Our system is a completely hybrid system. This means we have the possibility of wired and wireless connection. For example, in newly constructed buildings, we suggest the wired system because in those cases, you can design the wiring infrastructure and make it proper for the smart home. Later, Piotr will explain the wiring for the Grenton system. But if you have, for example, the existing installation and you cannot make some changes in wiring, you can also use wireless modules and obtain all the functionalities. We offer a wide range of modules. As you can see, we have DIN rail mounted modules, like for example, relay, LED RGBW, I/O module, dimmers, and many others. You can also choose local flash-mounted modules that are also wired. Or if you need a wireless solution, we have Z-Wave flash-mounted modules. So thanks to all this wide range of modules, we can guarantee very multiple functionalities in the system. We don't provide the point solution, but Grenton is the umbrella system or a so-called whole home system. So in one smart home system, you have a lot of devices, a lot of installations of systems controlled inside. So for example, you can integrate with Grenton gates, alarm, cameras. You can manage the windows with roller shutters. You can integrate audio-video systems, lighting control with, for example, integrating some scenes, HVAC, and many, many others that I won't list because the list is very, very long. But our system gives you the possibility to have all those devices, all this control in one system, in one application, or one controller, even if you want. So all those functionalities you can control from our My Grenton app. We offer this mobile home management application for free. So you can control your home locally, but also remotely. So for example, if you forget to turn off the light, or if you didn't turn on your alarm system before leaving the house, you can do it when you are away. You take your cell phone from your pocket and you have your property under control whenever you are. So all those functionalities that we have seen can be applied not only in individual houses or flats, but we can also implement them in multiple apartments, hotels, or even in industrial facilities. What all those buildings require to be ready for Grenton system is the proper wiring infrastructure. And This one, this topic will explain you in details, Piotr.
Yes, thank you, Marta. Yeah, so I would like you to show and explain a bit more about wiring in smart home, because it's different than conventional traditional electricity. This is an example of the typical installation where we have got a ring with the sockets, and it's uh, it's in ring multiple sockets. One ring is not just one, it's the multiple sockets. And this the same situation is with the lighting. So just one wire from the fuse box goes to multiple lighting fixtures. So usually it is one per couple of rooms or maybe per floor. This typical installation doesn't allow us to control something individually, because all we can do, we can hide some hardware in the fuse box in consumer unit. But when we switch on and off these circuits, then what we can do, we just can switch off the whole floor. This is definitely not enough. Of course, there is a possibility to install some equipment locally, but uh, it requires then bus cable, some communication to send information when this should be switched on and off. So this is also not possible because we don't have this cable here. So how it looks like a smart example of smart house wiring is showing this diagram, where we have got also this central board, central unit, consumer unit in the house. And from there, there is an wiring where individual cables run to the circuits, also to the sockets. And also, if we require some future-proof, we can run just cables for connecting additional equipment in the future. So if we change our mind after 2 years to add something, we can add them. However, these all cables are individually running to equipment, and also some controllers need individual wiring. That gives us complete flexibility what we can do, because the same switch where in previous example where this switch can control just this light, in smart installation this switch can control this light. But if we decide to control this outlet, it's no problem. It's down to software, what we send, what configuration we send to CLU. So what is important to remember, that the huge difference is that electricity, which is fixed, it's not smart. We rely on the designer, how functional will be the house. In smart home installation, we don't need to rely on designer, because we can change this functionality by software. The cable stays the same. It's always just running to the same equipment, and we change the software. That makes a huge possibility, that makes this system more flexible. So that's a main difference between those two. And what happens if we have got even bigger systems? So previous slide shows a single house or single floor equipment. Depending how much modules we have got, we can fit up to 48 modules to one processor. If the smart home is much more complex and requires more modules or more controllers, we can add additional 48 modules just by adding another processor. And the wiring between these two processors is only Cat5 or Cat6. It's a LAN connection. So this is typical LAN which we have in our houses. What that gives us, almost endless possibility, because we can expand multiple CLUs and have hundreds of the units in one system. What even more is possible, if you have got your second home or summer house or anything else, you can connect all of these places to control of one tablet or mobile phone. So you can control, you can manage all of these systems remotely or locally. Of course, if you're local, then you need to be connected to Wi-Fi. If remotely, you are connected to the cloud. So smart wiring gives us a huge possibilities, expansions, flexibility, and it's very, very flexible system. Then what I'm going to show you right now is the system, how it looks like in real. Look at this panel. This is an example just of typical consumer unit.
Piotr, you don't show us the camera view.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, good, Marta. I need to share the screen, so let me do it. If you stop sharing, Marta, please, then I need to swap my. Thank you. Thank you. So now you can see?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's make a zoom for that. So that's the typical main board of consumer unit, where we have got all these modules I've been talking about, which gives a functionality for the house. Here is an example. For example, this unit is a HTTP module. You can connect to internet and drag any information about weather, etc. from internet, integrate with alarm, integrate relays, roller shutters, dimmer, LED, RGBW, multiple inputs and outputs, digital inputs, analog inputs, outputs, which are 0 to 10 volts. Depending on the functionality you require at home, you design what modules you require. From that consumer unit, you need to go to any location where you have got controllers, and this is done by just one single wire. So we connect this wire, and the example would be a typical pipe or a slit or our Grenton dedicated cable, where the panel like that we connect to that module. And depending how many controllers we need, if we need 14, then we connect to the next, to the next, to the next. It's in a ring, so it's not a star connection, it's a serial connection. The communication is based on TF bus. This is a protocol, Grenton protocol, which is based on RS485 protocol. And as you can see, these little tapes, we connect modules to each other. There is another one cable, and it goes to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. And from there, another one, it goes to next row. And this connection, first of all, is very quick. It's just click. So it saves a lot of time for installation. And even more when I show you on the programming part, when you run software, you will see all of these modules without any configuration. Basically, it will appear in your program because it will find each other. So that's how it looks like a typical consumer unit. And of course, depending on smart home, what you require, you need to design how big is that, and what functionality you require. Here is an antenna for the wireless devices, Z-Wave. And also, as I mentioned, if you need to expand this system to multiple systems, there is the RJ45 connection for LAN here. Yeah, and sorry, it's out of focus, but that's no problem. We have got two sockets there. That's a LAN switch And once we connect another board like that to LAN or directly to the network switch, we can multiply systems like that, and we will see everything in one software. So that's a little bit about wiring. Of course, we're not going to explain everything, powering, etc. about that, but this, I hope, gives you an idea how it looks like in real. Marta will continue the next topic. I just need to stop sharing the screen.
Yes. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Yes. Okay. Or maybe the last thing I need to mention, these modules, this is an example of in bigger requirement, smart home. If we have got all these modules, we keep in mind that these modules are usually hidden somewhere. So end user doesn't see them every day. And this is why Grenton mainly focus not only on quality of these modules, but the big focus is on controllers, because this is what end users see every day when the client goes to home, need to control this system, and this touching equipment is for controllers, not for the modules. So it's a very important part which Marta will explain and show.
Yes, as Piotr told, the end user finds and sees the smart home from another point of view, let's say, because modules gives us the functionality, but we care a lot about also the controllers. So nowadays, normally in our houses, we want to have always more devices to control. We want to have more lighting circuits or create some light scenes, and it requires a lot of controllers. So in a traditional way, we have traditional controllers that looks like this, but we in Grenton have decided to give the solution, the aesthetic solution, because we think that smart home is also something elegant, and customers care about elegance and about the aesthetics. So in our offer, you can find a very wide range of touch and smart panels that will give you very wide functionalities. For example, if you don't need in the room a lot of things to control, for example, you can choose the 4-button touch panel. For example, you can control the lightning or the roller shutters from this touch panel. It has also the possibility to of the customing engraving. If you have more functionalities to program and to control in the room, you can choose, for example, the 8-button touch panel, also with the possibility of custom engraving. So you can here program 8 different functionalities or even more with some other options of the panel. If you have more requirements, you can use the Grenton Smart Panel. This device has the small OLED screen in the middle, and this OLED screen can be freely programmed. So you can display here, for example, the icons or the text. The integrator or the installer can program it depending on the customer's requirements. All our panels, touch and smart panels, are in the classical version with the glass finishing, black or white. But the touch panels, you can also choose, as we have said before, with the engraved icons. but also with leather finishing or wooden finishing. So it depends on the customer. We care and we give a lot of importance to give this natural, elegant design that customers requires.
And this is real leather, real wood, so it's not
Yes,
just imitation.
exactly. I would like to stop for a moment on this product, on our smart panel that has been awarded with the gold medal in Budma Fair in 2018, because this product is very unique on the market. This small panel has the temperature and the light sensor, and also the possibility, the gesture control. The OLED screen that you can see in the middle can be freely programmed. So we can display here different information. For example, we can display here the icons, the temperature, thermostat, or other information received from the internet. So you can create here multiple pages, and with the hand gesture, you can change the pages. And for example, on the first page, you can have the control of the lighting. On the second page, you can have the temperature of the room and the thermostat. On the third, for example, the alarm system. On the fourth, some information, for example, about the traffic jam or about the exchange rate, anything that interests the customer, the end user. Some real examples later Piotr will show you, showing the system configuration. And now Piotr, yes, if you can
Yes, 1 second.
tell us
Let
more
me...
about this topic.
So the system configuration is designed for all people with different skills of the programming. So you don't need to be a programmist to start with Grenton. Basic events are all designed that you can configure them just by clicking. So apart of labeling things like where is the kitchen, what's its name of the button, etc., you don't need to type anything to software. So that's very, very easy way to control. However, if you require more functionality from the system, you have got special tools like graphical scripting, and that gives you a huge flexibility of the system and still doesn't require knowledge of the low-level programming language. So you can connect any conditionals you require. But if you are the programmist and you really want to go for even higher level, you can type a code in Lua language, and this is something for really advanced features, and you can integrate almost everything by programming this way. Software is available on all platforms. This is not usual in any other systems. So if you are a Mac user or Linux user, you are not stick to Windows. Every platform has got native software, and that gives you a great flexibility as well. I think there will be the better to show you this in real, how it looks like. So let me share the screen again Marta, you need to stop sharing so I can do that, and I will be able to show you the software. Okay, maybe for the some information how this part of 30 minutes of the configuration will look like. We have got the training case here. We use that for trainings. We have got multiple buttons there and lighting fixtures, LED, RGBW, strip, our controller. smart panel connected to that. All of that just to show you some flexibility in programming. And program looks like that. As I mentioned before, we have got a list here, a list of all devices within the system. And all of these devices, once we run just one function, CLU discovery, just appears for us, and we don't need to add all of these units to the software. It's just done for us. All we need to do, of course, is just label them, so the program is tidy. And all of this labeling and also selecting category. So for each module, if I double click on that, we can select the type of this module. That gives us a flexibility to organize our software. And how we can see this this organized project, we can swap between these tabs here. So this is a full list. The first tab is a full list of the products. Second one is divided by the by any module. Third one is through the containers. The third one is from the input and output type. So once you specified what type of the device is, it displays just organized by this type. And the difference between these two is that here you can see every modules, every function. Here you can see only these ones you specify. So if you don't use all functionalities, then here is a smaller list. This is very helpful. For fourth tab, we have got organized through the containers. You can create your containers. This could be rooms. So if anybody of you is already experienced with some systems, you can create floors, rooms, and add these devices to that areas, and also dividing through inputs and outputs. So that's about organizing the whole system. It's very important if we have got multiple modules, because currently we have got just a few, and you can see the list is quite long. Here we have got functionality of our software, so we're not gonna go through all of them, but we have got some tools ready for you, like thermostat. So you just choose these objects from the list, and you don't need to program all functionalities. You just set up for the thermostat, for example, you set up default temperature, what sensor you're gonna use. By the way, we can go to that thermostat example. You can see here, let's make it bigger. So if you see some refreshing, don't worry, this is not visible at all on real. It's just refreshing because of the light indoor and camera equipment. So this is the thermostat, and to look like that, you just need to configure the default temperature and temperature sensor and output, which will switch on and off equipment, for example, for heating or cooling. So tools like that, for tools like that, we have got our objects, our virtual objects. We have got scripting. So this is an example of the scripting. I'm going to explain a little bit that later. So the software looks like that. Let's come back to the list of the units. I would like you to show now maybe how we can easily change the functionality of the keypad. At the moment, in this training case, we have got already, let's make it bigger, we have already pre-programmed something. So the first button is switching on kitchen lamp. The second button is switching on bedroom lamp. You might not see the labeling, but but it's all labeled here. The third button is controlling LED. Fourth button is also for LED, but if you want to change the color of this LED, you just press and hold. Unfortunately, you're not gonna see exactly the color through the camera like that, but believe me, that's changing the colors fluently. As long as I keep pressing the button and switch it off, you can adjust in the software very advanced tools, like advanced, for some of you, of course, that might be not advanced feature, but fading time, how long this LED strip will switch on, how long it takes to switch from full to the zero level. All of this is of course possible. Of course, from the same buttons we can control other things, like here there is an example. We switch on the lighting, but the noise you can hear is a ventilator, it's a fan. So for any bathroom, you just can integrate in one button that you control the lighting, but apart of that, the fan is running. It is set up only for 5 seconds because this is just for demonstration, but you can see how it works. And also from the same keypad, we can create multiple devices functionality. So if we have got, let's say, the scene where we want to go sleep, so every light should go off. Let's say the LED, the kitchen lamp and bedroom is on. If I press the button, they all slowly goes down. And how long it does take to go off, you just configure. So it's up to you. Designing functionality, as I said, is down to the programmist or configurator. And very to bottom usually are used for the electric blinds or roller shutters. So this is an example. It shows when it goes the blinds up and down. So if I press up, you should see a little bit light here, and that's gonna disappear now, or down. It goes for 5 seconds, I guess, and it goes down. That's a simple functionality of that keypad. And here there is an example of typical switch, which is not Grenton made. It's a typical push button switch. And we have got complete flexibility what we want to control from that. So as you can see right now, this is programmed for electric blinds to go up or down. Even more, have a look on the LEDs here. These two buttons are blinds. And when I press blinds up, a part of the blinds which are going up, you have a feedback as well on all keypads that this function goes on right now. And that's also very, very nice that you can have the feedback, what's happening. And here is a time to give you an example how easy in future, if you change your mind and your typical switch, however, typical switch is differently wired, can change the function. So let's do that. This left and right button right now switches on light instead of blinds. So how we can do it in software? We need to double click on the key left. So this is our key. Now we have got pop-up window where we have got a couple of functionalities. We can control, we can set user themes, but at the moment we need events. In these events, we have got programs right now that if I click that button left, then the blind move up for 5 seconds. However, if I click and hold, so not click, but just press and hold, this blind will be going up as long as I want. So imagine we have got blinds which are coming up slightly longer, but we want only to hold up for half of the way. So we keep waiting as long as this is in half a way, we release, and then it stops. But now we want to change it. Now we don't use this keypad anymore for blinds. What we do, we just click on plus next to on click. And once we click on that, we have got the same list of the all devices, what was there. And from that list, we have to choose the device which we want to control. If this is a kitchen lamp, let's switch kitchen lamp. We select the method we want to switch it on. So we select now switch. That means that it will switch in toggle. One press, it will be on, second press will be off, and then on and off and on and off. Press OK. And once I accept that and upload, this button functionality will be changed. And that is exactly this huge benefit of smart home, that it's flexible. Our buttons now have got different functionality, and you can do it in every stage of your living at house. It could be basically done easily, even sometimes remotely. You don't need any engineers to rewire anything. That is just down to software. So this is an example how they work. I remind that everything is synchronized, so the system knows the state of the units. So if I press these electric blinds from here, you can see the feedback there. But have a look on Smart Panel right now. On Smart Panel, instead of 8 buttons like it is here, we have got not 4, we have got 16, because we have got 4 pages. So let's make the panel bigger and have a look on that. If I move to, that's thermostat, to blinds, and we have got these blinds icons. We can have icons, we can have labels. If I press open, this light goes on and this light goes on. Blinds off, it goes off, it goes down, and here it shows it goes down. However, the benefit of the smart panel is that you have got this feedback. So instead of having keypad without labeling, we can always change this labeling easily. Of course, as Marta mentioned, we can engrave all this keypad, and that's a great stuff that we can engrave that. But if we engrave and we change our mind in future, then unfortunately we need to replace that keypad to have different engraving. In Smart Panel, you don't need to, because all you do is then change the name. And let me show you how easy is that, because kitchen lamp is here, and that's controlling kitchen lamp. But if I go to software and I find this button, which is kitchen, double click on that, we have got in embedded feature the name kitchen. And if I do bedroom instead, and on event, we change from kitchen to bedroom. Let's switch. Then this is all I need to do to change the functionality of the button. It's uploading. And now next is bedroom, because it was there. So now we change from kitchen to bedroom. Let's make this panel bigger. So we have got 2 bedrooms, but I just wanted to show you how it works. And if I press, then this controls bedroom. Easy, and that's how it works without any complicated programming. Now I would like you to show more flexibility what we have got. And in fact, we've got this example here. So conditional programming. Conditional programming is something what you can do in 2 modes. One mode is a graphical method. So you just add actions, conditions, and this is again clickable. So you don't need to know any language of programming. If I want, this is slightly already complex script. So let me create another one just to test script, just to show you how easy is adding functionality. And then I will show you how this script works. So we have got script test script, and we want on this script just to add action, which is switch on kitchen lamp, for example, drag and drop function. And we have got exactly the same list what we had if we clicked a plus button next to the event before. And let's find the kitchen lamp. It's here. And let's say switch on. Okay. So we have got function to kitchen lamp switch on. When we need scripts, if we want more complicated, more complex events. So let's say we want to switch on lamp, wait for the maybe 10 seconds, and after that we want another event, which would be bedroom lamp to switch on, and so on and so on. So you just add this functionality in graphical mode. That is very easy, in fact, to do, but you have got much more flexibility what you can do because you have got conditions. So you can create conditions like if the light level, because we have got all light levels, temperature levels, temperature feedback, and all of this you can implement to software. So if the temperature is above something, let's do this. You can do through conditionals. It's the same way. I'm not going to show you further because this is more programming than training, but that's how it looks like. You choose, let's say, the panel temperature sensor, and we click value. If the value is higher than 25, then do something. And to do something, add action. Action will, when I create that, that will ask me, is this action for true state or is this state for the false? That's how we build in graphical mode. However, if you prefer or you know the text mode and you can program in Lua, this, okay, it contains error because conditional cannot just finish. So let's do that. We can switch to the text mode. I know this is quite small, so maybe maybe I can show you slightly bigger. Let me run a word and I will make it bigger for you. What is that? Okay, not this side. Yeah, maybe you can see right now, even bigger. So the systems just show that the CLU kitchen lamp choose switch on method and should wait for 10,000 milliseconds, which is 10 seconds, and then dim the bathroom, just switch on bathroom lamp. Text mode is benefit for people who also want to start programming faster, because what you can do, you can easily copy and paste these things and do other things. So let's say we copy and paste here, then you just need to change from off on to off, for example, and then you have got the script which shows that, okay, kitchen lamp goes on 10 seconds, then bedroom lamp switch on, then kitchen lamp switch off 10 seconds, and kitchen lamp switch off, bedroom lamp switch off. That's the text mode. I'm not gonna explain details about programming that, but this is a benefit for the programists, that you can make it faster, and also more complex things. This is how it looks like programming, but let me show you the function, how it looks, this script in real. So the good example is, and also that will show you what Smart Panel can do, maybe starting from that these pages we can change by gesture control. So we are on the page 1 right now, where we have got bedroom controlling and LEDs, but these 4 buttons which were here, so that was controlling fan and all off and blinds, we can have on next page. Here we have got icons, and we've got also the icons option, which is very easy to implement, and even you can create your custom icons. So icon showing, let's make it bigger, icon showing fan, ventilator. Yes, this sound is just fan. It's switching on the light, as in bathroom it should work. However, the fan should be longer. It is only demonstration. I don't want noise, so it's 5 seconds. This, let's switch on all circuits and have a look on sleep mode. We go to sleep, I press it, all goes off. This is the same, this is just a copy of that button. And also we have got blinds. And now let's move to the script I created before. We have got information about the garage gate. Currently is closed. This mode of the web of the screen on touch on the smart panel is a free mode. You can design there anything you want. It's just down to you. So it's not only text, it's pixels. You can create icons, text, whatever you prefer. At the moment, it is information that garage gate is closed. I have a button here, which is a gate sensor. Let's say that this gate sensor is just something to open the gate. If I press it, you can see the state change to open. And this is down to the global variables we can create. I know that for some of you, maybe this is quite advanced information. You might don't know for what is a global variables, but let me show you just for these who are interested in that. As I said on the very beginning, or maybe I didn't, that we've got on our webinars different kind of people, some engineers, some managers, depending of the point of interest. We have got the page where we can create as many as we want global variables. I created global variable garage gate, and that gives me a possibility that if I on panel, if I press this button, the state changed to true. So you can see here the light, the gate is open. So if you see on smart panel, it's open. If I switch off it, it shows information that it's closed. This is all down to the software script, where I show you this in real. What the script? This is smart panel. Okay, This script is more complicated. It's not just displaying the state of the garage door, but also it's connected with global variable for water leak. So what happens now if there is a water leak in house? Here I have got a function which pretends that the water leak sensor is activated. I press it. Look, on Smart Panel, we have got information that there is water leak. LEDs are flashing, the beeping, everything is configurable. You can configure as you want. You can even change the frequency of this beep. So frequency in terms of the sound, what frequency it does. And it informs you about the event. If I disable that, because I found that, okay, there is no water leak or something, and I close it, we can program that the Smart Panel goes to the typical main page, but it is also configurable, because if we are on the garage gate page and I press that it's open, it stayed there. It's up to you how you design that. Flexibility is huge. This is done to you, and this is this main key point of the OLED screen where you can display the information. And in the software, shortly, I explain how it was done. There is a first conditional. This conditional is a water leak global variable. If there is a water leak, then it goes to the functionality of displaying this information that, okay, there is a water leak. If it's not true, it goes to another conditional, which checks, is it a garage gate opened or not? If it's opened, it displays this functionality. If it's not open, this functionality. You can imagine that the scripts like that, especially in text mode, where it's easier to navigate, because look, all of this is just this part, you can create almost endless. I just pressed to run the script. You can run endless, and that's a benefit, huge benefit of the and flexibility of the Smart Panel. So that's slightly about this unit, but I also would like to show you the mobile application. Of course, there is not possible to show you all others functionality, but I guess you can imagine that it depends of your imagination what you can do here. I hope you believe me. Let's go to the My Grenton application. This is also very easy to configure. If I create the page with lights, we call it light, we're gonna have the screen with a view of the mobile phone or tablet. It's all down to the same configuration. So it doesn't matter, this is Android, this is Apple, this is tablet or phone, you just design that and it's gonna work. How easy is to program, I can show you now, because this is just drag in simple configuration. It is just drag and drop. So let's choose the outputs because it's easier to find, and the kitchen lamp. I want to control kitchen lamp. Drag and drop. Select on and off is fine. We have got kitchen lamp and icon. Everything here as a visual is configurable. So let's change the page name. Page will be, it might be a room, but house control. House control. Icon also, if we click, we can change to some others, maybe that one. And lamp as well, you can change the name and icon. That's all, in fact. You just drag and drop. Let's add to that RGBW. and maybe fun. Okay, why not? And maybe alarm. Okay, why not? Alarm, it is just the button here. Okay, now I want to upload that. So I choose icon, send my Grenton interface, and the system is going to generate for me the QR code. Now what I need to do is open my application. I'm going to show you this here. Application. The interface, I need to add new interface because I've got a couple of them, and click scan QR code. I need to double check my Wi-Fi is connected to the same local network. So yeah, it is. So come back to QR code. I read it from the screen and I've got it. Look at that. Okay, and now maybe the case. You can see the case and my phone, kitchen lamp, on and off. Bathroom, LED, RGBW. We have got sliders. We can control colors, saturation, brightness. It's all there. Fun. Alarm is coming on here. And also, of course, you can display values. So if I would like to add to this interface the information from GarageGate, that would be no problem at all. I didn't mention about the temperature controlling, which is either built into our all keypads, this as well, or light level sensor, but we can also connect through one wire the sensors from outside. And I would like you to show how nicely works this. We implemented one sensor, temperature sensor, behind this lamp. Why? Because I want to show you quickly how nicely works the thermostat. Now, panel. As you can see in chilled room, there is 23.7, and we have got the desired temperature set to 24 and 7. This is set up right now for cooling. So let's have a look what happens if I switch on the light. The temperature starts going up, and if that cross 24, 25 and 2, because hysteresis is set to 0.5 degree, the ventilation fan will start working. Let's do it. The lamp is on. Look, immediately the temperature is sensing it's going up. It has to cross, and it does already. And we have got a fan. If I switch it on now, that should stop in few seconds because the lamp is still hot, but it shouldn't take long. It's coming back. And if that crossed 24 and 2, it should switch off. Let's wait for that moment. Mm-hmm. 24 and 3, and one more. I hope you can hear this sound noise of fun. 2, and one more. If it's not, that maybe I set the hysteresis for 1. No, that's correct. It's off right now. Okay, so this is how it works, temperature controlling. And and there is a many more functionality, but I think I won't be able to show all of that. I think it would be good if Marta will show for us also some cases from smart homes, and not only smart home, what was made on Grenton. And I hope you enjoyed how it looks like a programming part, and that shows you some flexibility of programming. And maybe on the end we have just a few minutes for the questions. Marta, that's your turn.
Yes. Yes, thanks, Piotr, for the practical examples. So, as Piotr told, at the end, I would like to show you some references, some examples of implementation of Grenton Smart Home system. The first one is the classic case of smart home system in private villa of 250 square meters, where the full set of Grenton products were installed. Grenton controls here the lighting with different scenes, configurations and blinds. It controls the audio-video system with full HVAC automation. Everything is controlled from the app and from our smart panels. Another example that I would like to share with you are 3 modern residential buildings lately built in Wrocław in Poland. Here we have 156 apartments with Grenton system available to all residents. Heating, security and lighting is controlled by Grenton, but in every apartment the smart home ready installation was prepared, so the residents have the possibility of the expansion of the system if they require more possibilities. Another example, the commercial space in Warsaw. It is exactly the entertainment center in Warsaw that is called Hula Kula. More than 6,000 square meters where Grenton controls the lighting. There are more than 250 RGB circuits controlled with 4 CLUs. The last example is different from others because this is the factory hall. So as we were speaking before, not only houses, not only apartments, but also industrial buildings. Here in this case, Grenton was installed in automatic car wash, where we control the lighting with LED technology, emergency and evacuation lighting system, and the boiler room security system. So that cases that I have presented you shows us how wide are the implementation of the Grenton system. If you want to learn more, if you want to have give us some questions, you are very welcome. Because
you can ask even now, because we still have got 10 minutes. So please raise a hand if you would like to ask live. I can allow you to
I think
talk.
we have one question now.
It was, but I answered this already.
Okay.
In case you don't have any questions, maybe we can summarize somehow. Do you think, Marta, was something missing or or not, something important to tell?
I think that if our attendees have some questions, they are free to ask, because I think we have told everything.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot. But any question you have, please send them here on on Zoom, or of course you can drop us an email. You can see here our email addresses, or you can write also to webinar@grenton.com.
Thank you, Pavlos, So bravo. We really hope that you enjoyed that. Let's wait a little bit still for any ideas of questions. Maybe in the meantime also I would like to mention about the smart panel, because this is really something unique on the market. Imagine that this small panel, which is really in size of a typical single or double switch, you can do so much. And please try think just browsing through any other systems, because I'm sure that you can the only flexible panels you can that much flexibility you can find only in touch panels, where you have got touch screens. However, these touch screens are not the best example, because this is down to the designers, installers, how the GUI, how the graphical user interface looks like, and sometimes it is really a mess, and this is not organized. In the units like a smart panel, you cannot make a mess, because the buttons are fixed. The buttons are the square 4 buttons, but the information what you need to retrieve is on a little LED screen. And that gives you the power that in nice way, organized way, you can control multiple functions, and you don't need to add any other control panels on the wall. So imagine any other systems, and let's say open space where you have got kitchen and living room, and you have got lights, blinds, a TV, and all of that you want to have a little bit of control on the wall. I think that without touch panel on the wall, of course you can do like that, but without touch panel, without mobile device like iPad on the wall, there is no systems on the market. It will give you the possibility to do it on one single small and very elegant panel. And that's the huge power, and that's a unique selling point in Grenton. I hope you can see that point. So please keep in mind how much can do a smart panel, and give us a feedback if you find anything on the market. Okay.
I can say that we don't have any questions so far. So
thank you very much. Maybe we will switch off the cameras and we mute ourselves. We leave the page, so you are free to note our details, and we will still be there if anybody changed their mind, and up to 7 minutes find some questions. You are very welcome. So
okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.